Hadi. I am from Iraq, Baghdad. I left Baghdad because in 2009, that's when I decided to leave. Before that, my dad worked for the US military, and he was kind of not translator, he was a manager there. He manages vehicles and stuff, people inside Baghdad. So I was young, we were young. I have 9 brothers and sisters, so we're a big family. My 2 oldest brothers worked with my dad in the same, they call it Falcon, it's in Iraq, and he worked for the US military. And people inside the country found out that my dad worked for the US military, and it started questions, because we shouldn't work. They say we shouldn't work for a country coming against, the country. I came in Spokane 2012. That's when I got qualified after Jordan. I lived over there by myself from 17 to almost 21 when I got here. And I applied for my other brother because he came after me to Jordan. And then he came here 2 years after here. And he's married and he has 2 kids. And then my mom and my 3 sisters, the youngest one, they came in 2013, they came to Jordan, and they just arrived here 2 months ago to America and to Spokane. I mean, it's safer, and they say go wherever you want to go, it's all, yours, and it's all safe. So that change to me is still, the first 2 years is still like hard. I'm still scared, I still, when I see some cars, or I see someone parked anywhere, it's still in me, because over there, when you see something, that means something gonna happen, and it will. I do have a job, I do have a lot of friends, and I just enrolled in school again. I'm going for law school. It's so many options in the US. It makes me sad because there's so many people here that don't know the value of the life they're living here.
My name is Emmanuel Kassa. I'm from Congo, DRC. I came here in February 28th of this year. My country naturally is a good country, rich, but it has no good governance. Because of multiple wars, that's why I decided to move away from that country. In my country, it reached a time when war was everywhere. And we had so many soldiers from different countries. Some of them were supporting the rebel groups, and some of them were there for peace. Even the United Nations had some troop of army. So that's how, when that war entered my city, I was rescued by the UN soldiers. I remember well, that group was from Bangladesh. People were killed. Really, when someone is talking about something you didn't say, you cannot understand it very well. I saw many things related to the war. Imagine when someone can arrest a pregnant woman and open her womb and remove the baby and cut also the baby. And that one was careful. Everybody could not resist to that. I crossed from a country to a neighboring country, which is Uganda, and from there I was taken to the refugee camp. And when I reached there, I tried to suffer in that camp. You know, Uganda is a country which is not rich, and you know, even if UN can try to provide some things to refugees, it cannot be enough. You know, when you from a good life to start a different kind of life, it can be challenging. So I stayed there for some years, 15 years, and I decided to apply for resettlement. Now it's 1 week when I got a part-time job with World Relief. That's where I am right now. And that one also is not enough for me, a man of a big family, but at least one is better than zero. So I'm there.
My name is Jackson Lino. I am from Sudan, and originally South Sudan, I would say now. I was born in a small village called Juba, from the Mahdi tribe in Juba. Well, for about 32 years, I would say my country has been in war, and lots of people were displaced due to the war, due to famine, due to persecutions, you know, people of different gender, their political views, religious views. And my family was predominantly a Christian family. And we found ourselves in harm's way. And I was at a very young age when I left the country. But I do still remember the horrific situations that we have gone through. But I knew that my parents did all that they could to give us this opportunity to come. And I'm very blessed to be able to be here and even just be able to share this with people. I am in Spokane alone, but I am here in America with family. And thankfully, all but one who is still in Sudan, the oldest brother with family, and being given that privilege to come to this great nation was something that was a dream. And now to be able to be in it and live it is unreal. It's very hard, you know, when you move to a different country, you have to adapt to many different things. And to learn the language, I mean, I didn't speak any lick of English when I came to this country, but look at me now. I can't even stop talking, you know? I'm just blabbering everywhere. People don't see the gifts that they have here until it's taken away, you know? I miss home for sure. I miss just the nature of being outside and just the smell of the air and just the warm sun, you know, and just the late nights of being able to stargaze, you know. There's no power. You know, at nighttime it's the most beautiful time because you get to see the stars, you get to see the moon, and it's just in its live, vivid action. I miss that very much. And But again, to be in America is something that is just, it feels good to be known, to be seen as a human being, because my country, so to speak, has deemed me as a person who's not worthy to live there and forced you out.
My name is Ildikó Kalapács. I'm a Hungarian American visual artist. I arrived in the US 30 years ago, and actually I'm not a refugee, but my family has seen so many wars and revolution, 56 revolution. I grew up with the legacy of all those conflicts in my family, and I saw the aftermath and the impact of those wars and conflicts and socialist dictatorship taking over the country, and it really changed my family and how I grew up, and I think my personality, and I became a very empathetic person, and that's why I've been doing art which is more socially oriented. And this is like the Bering Public Sculpture Project, which is going to be at the Sunset Park in Spokane. And it's an image of a woman who is carrying a huge food basket on the top of her head. In many cultures, women actually feed families, especially during war and after war. There's a young man sitting in the basket, and he has a huge gun across his lap, and she's just carrying him into safety. And that's the image we are going to put in bronze in the Sunset Park. My motivation also to put it in Spokane, because we have 40,000 refugees in Spokane, 40,000 refugees from all over the world. The VA hospital takes care of 300,000 veterans each year. This is a huge social problem, and we would like to have a place, an open place for people to contemplate war, share their stories. I think most of our society, both regionally and the larger society, does not understand the pain and the suffering and the effort it takes to go through wars and to go to safety, if you make it to safety. And I think this place will help people to heal, to share their stories in a safe place, and also to just to be alone and maybe to give themselves a big hug and how far they have come. And we are fundraising for the project. If you would like to contribute to the project, you can go to theberingproject.com, where you can contribute by writing a check or just donating online. Also, we would like to solicit more stories from refugees and veterans, because both groups have suffered so much and have seen so much, and I see both groups as victims of violence. I see them as people, as individuals, and without any political judgment, I would like to have this artwork out there to help them and make sure that they are not in the periphery of our society, but they are integrated in our society, and we reach out to them and we see them as human beings, and we don't shun them for their sins, for their disabilities, for their PTSD, but we include them in our society. And I hope you can find it in your heart to donate to the Bering Sculpture Project, and I thank you for that.